is biology. I hope you all well and safe at home. Due to the coronavirus, such changeable atmosphere, school and colleges not open yet, and there is a challenge to all institute. There is a challenge of all teachers how to keep teaching and learning process. And the answer of this question, which is the online teaching. So on the basis of coronavirus, I prepare videos of my teaching subject, and my teaching subject is biology. So it makes easy to learn to all of you. So welcome once again on my online videos, and welcome once again to New High School Junior College Science Vadara. So best of luck for your online studies. Once again, my teaching subject is biology, and biology, that means in Marathi, Jeev Shastra, biology. आपण पहिल्यांदा बायोलॉजी म्हणजे काय इथपासून पुढे जाऊया. Previous biology, it means here the जीवशास्त्र in Marathi, and that biology there are two parts, that is the botany and zoology. Botany and zoology. In botany, the plants are studied, and zoology, animals are studied. So in biology there are chapters. In that chapters, some chapters is based on the botany and some chapters is based on the zoology. जे चॅप्टर बायोलॉजी मध्ये दिलेले आहेत, त्या चॅप्टर मध्ये काही चॅप्टर मध्ये प्लांटचा अभ्यास केलेला आहे आणि काही चॅप्टर मध्ये एनिमलचा अभ्यास केलेला आहे. जे काही रिडक्शन झालेला आहे कोरोना व्हायरस मुळे, देयर इज अ रिड्यूस्ड सिलेबस. जो रिड्यूस झालेला आहे, नॉन इव्हॅल्युएटेड सिलेबस आहे, जो की मूल्यमापनाला किंवा परीक्षेमध्ये तो ग्राह्य धरला जाणार नाही. तो सिलेबस, त्याची पीडीएफ मी तुम्हाला आधी पाठवलेला आहे ग्रुपवर. and that reduced syllabus is 25% syllabus. And the first chapter of the biology, which is the living world, and that living world, which is that living means sajiv, that living, that word which is concerned the sajiv, that is the living. And on earth is made up of biotic and abiotic component. Biotic component means here living thing. Biotic and abiotic. Biotic, abiotic, here biotic, that means living being or living thing, and abiotic, non-living things. Non-living things. अशा प्रकारचे अर्थ हे दोन्ही घटकांनी बनलेले आहे, सजीव आणि निर्जीव. बायोटिक means here सजीव, living, and abiotic means here non-living, that is निर्जीव. अशा प्रकारच्या दोन्ही कंपोनेंटनी काय झालेली आहे, अर्थ बनलेली आहे. Our first chapter, which is based on the biotic thing here, that is the living things. And ह्या लिव्हिंग थिंगचा अभ्यास हा तुम्ही पहिला झालेला आहे तुमचा. That is the characteristic of the living, सजीवांची लक्षणे. Here the basic principles or basic properties of living or the characteristic of living here, we know that previous studies here, that is the growth is one of the character of the living. Growth means वाढ, that is means also मध्ये बेसिक प्रिन्सिपल्स ऑफ लाईफ और व्हॉट इज लाईफ हे काय झालेलं आहे, रिड्यूस झालेलं नाही. बाकीचं पुढचं जे जे काही घटक आहेत, that is the herbarium, botanical garden, key, which is the reduced syllabus. We see here only today, that is the basic principles of life here. And first basic principles of life or the first character of life, आणि पहिलं सजीवांचं लक्षण हे जे आहे ते ग्रोथ आहे or development, that is vikas. Then cellular organization. What is cellular organization? Here the पेशीमय रचना, सजीव हा पेशींनी बनलेला आहे. Then reproduction, that is the प्रजनन. Then metabolism, here various reactions, chemical reactions here which is concerned, that is the chay apachay, that is the anabolic and catabolic. Then homeostasis here, it is then the heredity and ability to sense environment and respond it. These are the characters of the living things. These are the characters of the life. We see first of all, one by one there is a growth of one character of life. So growth is the characteristic of living being. Growth here. And what is growth? There is increase in the body mass. Increase in the body mass. शरीराच्या वस्तुमानामध्ये बदल होणे. कारण मूळ जन्मतः त्याने छोटा असतं, हळूहळू त्याच्या आकारमानामध्ये वस्तुमानामध्ये काय होतो, चेंज होत जातो, वाढ होत जाते. That is the growth. And growth is the property or growth is the characteristic of the living thing. And living organism, growth is inside. जी growth होते living organism ची, ती inside आतून growth होते. But non-living things, non-living object also show growth here. And that growth is outside growth. Living thing growth is inside and increase in body mass. Here the recognized word here, increase in body mass, is the growth of living being here. And non-living things, non-living object also show growth, but the growth is outside growth. And what? There is accumulation of the material. Accumulation of the material on the surface. Accumulation means here साठा किंवा संचय होणे. मटेरियलचा संचय होणे, साठा होऊन कशावर साठा होतोय तर सरफेस वर, that is the outside. And the example which is the mountain here, म्हणजे डोंगर जे आहेत छोटा, त्याच्यानंतर हळूहळू काय होतं, माती साठत जाते आणि मोठी डोंगर तयार होतात. अशा प्रकारचं that is one of the example of the growth here. That means growth, living being show the inside growth or increase in body mass, and non-living show the outside growth. That is the one of the example is the mountain here. Then so the growth is not defining property or not exact property of living thing here. Growth जी आहे ती living thing ची exact or defining property or definite ठळक असं फक्त growth हे फक्त आणि फक्त सजीवांचंच लक्षण आहे. हे इथं हे होत नाही किंवा not defining property म्हटलेलं आहे, because non-living things show also growth, but the difference is the outside growth here. Then the second character, that is the cellular organization. Cellular organization is one of the character of the living thing. And all living things or all living organisms, all living beings is made up of cell. सगळेच सजीव हे example of the unicellular organism, and the amoeba, which is also one of the example of the unicellular organism. Multicellular organism, here the multicellular organism, many fishes are the multicellular, horse, there are many plants, which is human being, we are the multicellular organism, that which is, and some cells are small and some cells are big, there is a variety of cell size here. आणि हे एक लक्षण आहे, कारण सजीवच फक्त हे सेलनी बनलेले आहेत, ना की कुठला नॉन लिव्हिंग थिंग हा सेलचा नाही. सजीवाचं हे एक डिफाइनिंग प्रॉपर्टी आहे किंवा डेफिनेट प्रॉपर्टी आहे. ऑल लिव्हिंग थिंग्स, all living beings, which is made up of cell here. This is the defining property of living organism. Then heredity, anuvansh. Here the heredity, it is a characters that passed generation by generation, that is means heredity. Anuvansh सजीवांमध्येच हे होतं, एका जनरेशन मधून दुसऱ्या जनरेशन मध्ये, means here एका पिढीतून दुसऱ्या पिढीमध्ये अनुवंशाने काय होतात, काही गुण पास होतात. That is one of the character of the living thing here, that is the heredity. Then homeostasis, here homeostasis, it is the ability to maintain the internal environment. सजीवांचं आणखीन एक लक्षण आहे, one of the extra, that is the character, that is the homeostasis here, which is to maintain, that is the ability in all living organism to maintain their internal environment and external environment also, and which is human body keeping, human being, that is the example, that is the human body keeping an averagely temperature, that is the 80 degree, that is the 1.6 1.5 degree, that is the maintain, that is the constant temperature of the human being. This is one of the character of the living thing. Then reproduction, which is the another character of living thing here, that is the reproduction means organism produce their own kind. Organism or living beings which produce their own kind means here लिव्हिंग थिंग मध्ये अशा प्रकारचे लक्षण आहे किंवा लिव्हिंग थिंग मध्ये अशा प्रकारचे लक्षण आहे की ते त्याच्यासारखंच नवीन ऑर्गॅनिझम तयार करू शकते. दॅट ऑर्गॅनिझम or new organism here or new own kind here, त्याच्यासारखंच. And that reproduction are two types here, that is the sexual and asexual. That is the sexual reproduction here. In sexual reproduction there are, that is the it is concerned in the gamete here. It is concerned with the gametes. There are two gametes fused, that is the male gamete and female gamete fused, and new offsprings are made of here. नवीन संतती तयार होते, that is the offsprings here or the progeny. And asexual reproduction means here without fusion of gamete, the new own kind are produced. In plant, we know that the plant, that is the asexual reproduction or the vegetative reproduction here also. breakdown. That means here catabolism means here breakdown, and anabolism means here the build up. Build up and breakdown here. The breakdown, digestion, which is one of the example of the catabolism. In that digestion, पचन क्रिया जी आहे त्याच्यामध्ये breakdown of the food. Foodचं breakdown होतं small component मध्ये, and fats, which is the energy. Fats break down to give energy, and sugar also break down to energy. This is the example of the anabolism. So anabolism, which is the defining property of the living things. So the next character of living thing here, ability to sense environment and respond it. Ability to sense environment म्हणजे वातावरणाला recognize करणे. Ability to feel environment or ability to recognize environment and respond it. बाह्य वातावरणाला ओळखणे आणि त्याला प्रतिसाद देणे. That is the respond it, which is also one of the definite property, one of the definite character of the living thing here, both, and which is also called here irritability. That is both animal and plant which respond to the external factors. Both plant and animals here which respond. External factors means here light. External factors means here water. External factor here temperature. That is the external factor ला दोन्ही प्रकार जे आहेत, plant असू द्या, any plant, any animals here which respond that factors. म्हणजे light ला respond देतं, temperature तापमान असू द्या त्याला respond देतं, water असू द्या त्याला respond देतं. Plant आपल्याला माहिती आहे जितकं पाणी घालेल तितके plant ची काय होते, वाढ चांगली होते. That respond to that water. Temperature असू द्या, ऊन चांगलं असेल तर काय होतं, चांगलं वाढतं. That is the photosynthesis process is depending on that temperature here. And light also, that light also the photosynthesis, that is the process which is dependent on the light also. Then we also, when we see the more light, जर आपल्या डोळ्यासमोर भरपूर लाईट आली तर त्याला प्रतिसाद म्हणून आपण काय देतो, एकदम डोळ्यासमोर प्रकाश पडला आपण लगेच डोळे झाकतो. That is the respond it. That is we feel that environment. खूप थंडी असेल, आपल्याला थंडी वाजते, आपण काय करतो, स्वेटर घालतो. That is the ability to sense environment. पावसाळा असू द्या, उन्हाळा असू द्या, that is the any environment we see, sense, and we respond that environment, which is the definite property of the living thing here. And all living organism which aware to their surrounding. प्रत्येक ऑर्गॅनिझम काय आहे, हा अवेअर आहे सराउंडिंग एन्व्हायरमेंट साठी. म्हणजे लाजाळूचं झाड असू द्या, थोडंसं जरी लाजाळूचं झाड टच झाला की ते लगेच ते मिटून घेतं. अशा प्रकारचे किंवा फुलं काय होतात, बंद होतात. अशा प्रकारचं प्रत्येक each and every all living organism, each and every living organism which aware that to which aware to their surrounding or which aware to their surrounding environment here. So in last